Hi, welcome to Donegal Dad. I'm Mark. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. Today we're going to have a look at DCC systems and what they're all about. Before we delve into DCC, let's have a look at the traditional analog DC system. Here I have two ovals of track set up, a crossing and a siding, and we can see some of the limitations now with this system. We can only have one locomotive on each circuit of track. With your controller, you can only control one locomotive at a time on the DC system. So with these points switched to go onto the inside track, so we want to move this locomotive onto the inside track. When there's a locomotive already on it, as soon as I switch on the power, both engines start moving. Now with the two engines on the inside track, when we apply power, they're both going to move, but as they've got different gearings for the given power supplied, one engine will go faster than the other, so you can't speed match them. Now we have this engine in the siding. If we want this other engine to go into the siding as well, as soon as we turn on the power, both engines are going to move and one's going to go straight off the edge. Now with the DC system, you can overcome parts of these problems by installing isolated sections. So you would have a cut in your track, isolate it with some plastic fish plates, and then wire in the power so you can switch the power on and off to that track. But that's only going to work on the sections you have isolated. So let's have a look at DCC systems. If you're starting out and you're new to DCC, recommending just getting yourself a set. It'll come with a basic DCC controller, which will probably control up to 10 locomotives. It'll come with a locomotive with the decoders already fitted. The decoders are these little things here. You can see I've hardwired this decoder into this Thomas locomotive. And the way DCC works is the track is always powered live, and the controller sends a signal to the chip in the locomotive telling it what to do. Forward, reverse, switch on lights, make sound. Here's an example of some chips. So we have one on a harness here, which plugs in. We have a chip that plugs directly in. We even have a decoder here with a speaker, which has sounds. So let's look at a DCC system in action and how it's wired up. So we have the controller wired into the tracks, and you notice both tracks are wired in directly back to the controller. And the controller is given out a voltage. So you can see each track is live, but the engines aren't moving. This is because the controller needs to send a signal down through the wires through the track to each chip in each engine to tell it what to do. Now when you get a new engine or a new chip, it is automatically set to the number 3. That's the default setting for every chip and engine. So when you get a new engine, you want to use your controller to reset the number on that chip, which is it's an ID number. So I've set this to 01 and this to 02. So now if I want to make this engine move, I key in 01 on the controller, hit select, and then I can just turn the dial and the engine will move. Now if I want to make this engine move, I key in 02, which is the ID for the chip in that engine, hit select, and I can even make it go backwards. So you can see both engines are moving independently of each other. And I can bring them to a stop. So you can independently work engines on the same track with the same feed. So you can see now how operating a DCC system is so much easier than a DC with having to wire in different isolated points. With a DCC system, you just wire the whole track as live, and each individual loco is controlled from the controller through their chips. So we can see here now, this loco is on here. I want to move this one onto that track. I key in the function number, make sure it's the right direction, and away it goes. So I can put it onto that track without the other engine moving. So it makes for much more realistic railway operations and a bit more fun. So when you're looking to purchase locomotives, they come with some terminology on them. So this one here in the middle, it says DCC ready, which means it's wired, ready to go on DCC, but you have to fit a chip. Obviously this one here says DCC fitted, which means the chip is already installed and fitted and you're good to go. And then this one here, DCC sound, so this has a chip with sound fitted to it already. So this is a DCC ready locomotive. Now to fit the chip, you take the blanking plate off, and if you note on there, you will see a number 1. Sometimes it's an arrow, but that denotes pin number 1. So when you're fitting the chip, to make sure it goes the right way around. Now the chip will have an indication on it. If you can just make that out, there's a number 1 on there. The other way to confirm it is that it's the orange wire is always to point number 1. So we make sure that goes in the right way around. And just push it in evenly and gently, and it's in. And that's the chip fitted. Now if you want to fit a chip into an older model that is not DCC ready, then you have to hardwire in. Now, I won't be showing you how to do that now. I'll do that in a later video. So we put it on the track. We can test it now. One thing with the chip, this has got shrink wrap around it to protect it from shorting out. If you have a chip that is just bare, you need to put a bit of insulation around it or a bit of heat shrink around it so it doesn't grind off any parts of the engine and could damage or blow the chip. So as I said before, that's a new chip that's gone in there. So it's automatically set to ID number 3. So we put number 3 into our controller, hit select. Now the engine should move. There we go. Now you can go into the system now and give it a new ID. A lot of people will use the numbers off the side of the engine or locomotive to decide. So I could take the 3-4 off this, allocate number 3-4 to this, so I know number 3-4 is this engine. Now with DCC systems, something you might have heard about is programming the CVs. These are the configuration variables. It's not as complicated as it sounds. The CVs basically cover a lot of things on the engines. The acceleration, deceleration rates, the sound volume on sound chips. So you just have to go into the system through your controller and allocate these CVs different numbers to mean different things. So like on the volume for your sound chips, it can be anything from set from 1 to 190, and whatever number you pick, the higher the number, the higher the volume. So you can go in and configure it. If you go into the system, the CV system, and you change a load of variables and it goes wrong and your locomotive stops working, you can simply go into CV8, set it to 8, and it resets the chip back to factory settings. So it resets it back, so it's ID number 3 again, and you can start again. So don't be afraid of messing around with the CVs to configure your engines, because if it goes wrong, you can just reset it back to the beginning and start again. So I hope that basic introduction to DCC systems was helpful for you. As I say, starting with a starter set with a basic controller is a good place to go. And then once you have your system set up and your model railway going, you can look at some of the more expensive units that are have a lot more functions on them and can control a lot more trains. So thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and share. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.